Hey guys, it's CL, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I make brand new Critical Role recaps every Monday at noon, and would be happy to have you join the party. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and hit the Bertrand bell to be notified of future videos. Now, without further ado, let's discuss the 74th episode of Campaign 3 of Critical Role. Welcome to the jungle! That's a song, right? Anyway, Laudna uses her recently returned Eyes of Runekeeper ability to read the Raito charm obtained in the cave with the giant creepy worm. The etchings say things like, "My promise to Shotas, my love of my children Ro and Sakagi, my faith in the cycle of destruction and creation endless, my guilt over my father Gyudoba," it's taking all my power not to say Qdoba, and finally, one last name, Ifadala. And based on the dust around it, they're able to discern that the charm was probably laid there for a good decade or two. And on their day of travel, they avoid some animal encounters. At one point, they hear a guttural call, seeing 3 brown-furred beasts with hog-like heads. Later, they stumble upon a winding river. While Chet takes the time to catch some fish, the rest of the party use the immovable rod to maneuver across the waters. Laudna jumps in at one point, and Ashton has to go in after her and save her. And just when they think they're safe, behind them suddenly there's a large mound that starts to lift out of the river. A giant hippo-like creature appears, joined by her 2 children, and luckily Letters can cast Speak with Animals to tell them that they're just passing through and they won't hurt them. Through a persuasion check, the mom just tells them to fuck off while the babies root for her behind them. Continuing on until nightfall, Fern makes her A-frame plant growth house again, and FCG tries to make the fish Chet caught within their internal oven. And now his lower hot hole smells fishy. Yeah, that was a whole tangent during the episode. While Chet and Ashton take their first watch during sleep, Laudna takes 9 points of necrotic HP. Then Orym takes 6, and Chet sees some kind of shadow move. A dozen or so thin, elongated shapes begin to, feed on the life energy of them, and during the next watch, Laudna speaks Shadowcant to them and gains their attention. But they just keep appearing. Up to like 15 to 20, so Letters has to cast Turn Undead to make the creatures scatter. Continuing on the next morning, they find an odd gathering of foliage on a spot in the ground that possibly was a trap. Imogen uses her telekinetic powers to drop a stone onto it, and yeah, they probably would have been speared to death by a large drop with a double set of pointed pillars. Fern rolls a 30 survival check and finds even more traps, helping them maneuver safely. And FCG wonders if they could use Ashton to cast Find the Path. And though it was a super clever idea, after casting it, it fails to find purchase. Meanwhile, Orym hears the snapping twigs as 5 humanoid woe-steel-clad figures approach. It turns out to be some Ashio hunters, tipped off to their presence by the disabling of the first trap. The party explain their goal of looking for Yvonne Trevere, and once Orym offers the Raito charm up, which belonged to someone named Timu's father, they allow them to pass safely, though Ashton fails a persuasion roll to get any kind of advice from the group before they're sent onwards. Soon the party finds a circular chasm and race the sunset as they descend down into what Matt describes as an Exandrian throat. Yuck. Casting a mix of Featherfall, Fly, Shoebill, which was a hilarious moment, they fall quickly onto an endless cacophony of black leaves. On top of a tree. It's coral-like, its branches similar to a capillary system. Next to it are hundreds of small trinkets and important items like statues, gems, skulls, instruments, seemingly offerings to the tree. Once Ashton offers up their blood, rubbing it on the bark, milky eyes and a face crack onto the trunk, saying, "As it was fated, son of Efterin, leader of Hishari." Ow, my throat hurts. I'm just going to say the rest regularly. Anyway, he asked for a golden purpose and felt like they were owed by the world. He claimed to see visions that would leave his mark on history, and he wasn't wrong. He gazed into his future and was showed a relic he was fated to own, and used it to usher in an ancient power. The tree told him of the necropolis of Terramunda to get the artifact, a shard of Comort, the Empress of Earth. It turns out that little shard would birth someone, and Yvonne Trevere knew as their roots touched the threads of fate that it would be used to create Ashton. The tree was among those that stewarded the protection of Torremunda and helped mediate the division of Mount Agora when he was asked about his past, but actually can't remember who he was before he was the Great Tree of Trevere. Ashton offers to let them smoke the pipe that lets them see their most heroic moment, and upon Ashton shotgunning the tree, they see hundreds of people getting caught and saved by them. The party asks then how they can stop lewdness and what's going on with Predathos, and the tree advises them to find the spark of Raushan, the other titan, that burns in the heart of a volcanic maw within the side of the Athos Peak. Though the tree warns holding the strength of the two might sunder Ashton's body, they need that might of the Emperor. The party are told this is something they have been racing towards their entire lives, a tangle that is Predathos. They receive an image of what would happen should it be set free, and they watch as the gods flee somewhere after the lattice is broken, chased by an endless red glow. Exandria, barren. The tree then sensed they're being watched, and sure enough, they see a scrying eye upon them. The tree breaks the spell and opens its branches to allow them within, taking them to the Athos Peak, the home of the Titan Spark. What did you guys think of the episode? The whole time they've been wondering whether or not it would be a good idea for the gods to leave the world, and it seems we finally have our answer. There wouldn't just be no gods. The planet would basically be void of life and left asunder. Hopefully this ends the questions and ponderings on whether this is the right path to take, and the party will finally unite with the final goal of stopping lewdness and keeping Predathos forever sealed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out my recaps of Campaign 3 on my channel if you need to get caught up. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe out there. Good day, my friends.
There's no use in crying.